First question wants me to solve the following radical equations, so we'll go through this fairly quickly. So for this first one here, what we need to do is get rid of that square root. So to do that, I'm going to square both sides. And what that does on the left-hand side is that gets rid of the square root. But on the right-hand side, that's going to convert that 8 to a 64. And then I'm simply going to add the 7 to both sides, and that's going to get me that x is equal to 71. There you go. For this next one here, what I'm going to do here first is bring the 11 to both sides. So it's going to be negative 4x squared of, the negative square root of 4x. And then 4 minus 11 is going to be negative 7. Now I'm going to square both sides. Whoops, I should put that square up there, top there. I'll square both sides. That is going to get me a positive 4x. The square root's going to disappear. And remember, when you square a negative, okay, when you square a negative, you get a positive. On the right-hand side, you're going to get that negative 7 being squared, which will be 49. And so x is going to be 49 over 4. Now, you might want to double-check that that works by plugging that in. But actually, it turns out it does work. So that is a good answer there. For question C, first thing I want to do here is get the radical by itself. That's going to give me n minus 7 on the right-hand side. And now I'm going to square. Squaring is going to get rid of the radical on the left. Now, remember, when I square n minus 7, that means n minus 7 times n minus 7, which means I have to distribute that out. And I'm going to get n squared minus 14n plus 49. Now I'm going to bring over those terms there. And so that's going to end up being negative 14. I'm going to add that 3, so it's going to be negative 11n. And then 49 minus 31 is going to give me 18. And so now what I've got to do here is look for factors of 18 that combine to get negative 11. It's going to be negative 2 and negative 9. And so my n values are going to be positive 2 and positive 9. Now, when I plug those in, I just got to make sure that that works here. So if I've got 31 minus 3 times 2, okay, so if I plug that in, if I plug 2 in, that's going to be 7 plus the square root of 25. Well, square root of 25 is 5, so 7 plus 5 is 12. It's not 2. So 2 is actually an extraneous root. If I plug 9 into that, and I get 31 minus 27, that's 4. So 7 plus the square root of 4 is 2. So the square root of 4 is 2. 7 plus 2 is going to be 9. Well, that does work. So 9 is the actual root for that particular equation. In D, same sort of thing. I'm just going to square both sides. The radical is already isolated for me. That's kind of nice. So I'm going to get p squared is equal to 12 minus p. So p squared plus p minus 12 is equal to 0. And then I will factor. And that actually, this one works out okay because don't have a lot of options for 12. So 4, 3, 2, and 6. Or 1 and 12 for that matter. So p is either equal to negative 4 or positive 3. I know that it can't be the negative 4 because if it was, if I plugged in that negative 4 right at the beginning here, I would get 12 minus negative 4. The problem is a square root can't be negative. Okay, can't be negative, so it's going to have to be 3. And if you plug in 3 and check it, actually that does work because the square root of 9 is in fact 3. So that does work. Just a couple more here. This one, I want to get rid of the cube root by cubing both sides. So all that's going to do on the the left-hand side is get rid of the radical there. But on the right-hand side, it's going to cube the 9, which is going to be 729. And then I'm going to divide that by 6. And that's going to end up giving me, hold on a second, 729 should be 243 over 2. I just want to double check that because I did something really quickly on my calculator here and that, yeah, okay, that's right. I made a quick button pressing mistake on the calculator really quickly. So 243 over 2. And now I'm going to do the same thing over here. I'm going to cube both sides. That's going to get me 125 is equal to a plus 2 over 4. Then I'm going to multiply that 125 by 4 to get 500 is equal to a plus 2. And then I'm just going to subtract 2 from both sides to get that a is 496. Sorry, 98. 400.